My article that I read was about Airbnb and how it was affecting different types of hotels, so like budget hotels or like Marriott's and Four Seasons, Ritz Carlton. So the title of the article was Airbnb threatening budget hotels. Um, so it starts off by getting a quote from, like Marriott and Four Seasons and Hilton claiming that Airbnb is not threatening them because their target market is, high end business travelers. Um, and I think the funny thing is that they quoted the Ritz Carlton vice president, and basically in not so many words, she said that Airbnb was irrelevant to her group because they're targeting a higher end market, whereas Airbnb is targeting probably lower end market budget travelers. At the time of the article was written in 2013. At the time of the article, Airbnb had agreed with that statement and said, we don't think there's going to be any problems. We're targeting a certain market, and that's it. At the time of the article, Airbnb had cut budget hotels' revenue by 5%. And this was done by Boston University. They did a study about it. And in their study, they studied Texas mainly because Texas has several different markets that Airbnb was growing quite well, as in areas like Austin and Houston, travel areas, but not places like Fort Worth or Dallas. So at the time of the study, they were expecting by 2016, so now, that Airbnb would cut revenues for budget hotels by over 10%. And the article is 3 years old, so I'd be really interested to know whether or not this actually proceeded. And how they got that was because in their study, Airbnb up until the point had been doubling its rate every year. And so I'd be really interested to see whether or not they cut revenues by more than 10%, or if it was just if their demand had fallen off. But how popular Airbnb has gotten, I know not only with my friends, but like people I know, I feel like they probably would have cut budget hotels revenue more than 10%. At the end of the article, they were saying how recently a lot of businesses are starting to offer incentives for their travelers to be thrifty when they are booking their hotels and flights and all that kind of stuff. And so the article was saying how they believe that because of this, Airbnb is now going to be attracting the high-end business clients, because if they were being thrifty in their spending while on a business trip, they got incentives for it. Like one of the companies they offered was Google, and how Google will give incentives if you underspend on your budget. And you can like donate to a charity, or you can use it for future like flight upgrades or hotel upgrades or something like that. And which in itself is a very good incentive to use something like Airbnb or Expedia. But I think the other thing that they don't think about is the higher end business clients, the people who are traveling for business. They're getting reimbursed for all their spending, but they're getting to keep all of their rewards points. So like their flight miles, their Marriott rewards points, and they get to keep that and use that for personal use. So I think that is an advantage that these hotels have over Airbnb, because they are offering something different and they offer this still incentive, whereas Airbnb, you don't get that kind of thing. You don't get points, you don't get the incentive or anything like that. So I would really be interested to see if Airbnb is still really attracting those higher end business clients, because personally I don't think that they would be. But at the same time, using Google as an example was a really good idea, because there are companies who do that, but not every company does that. So I think it'd be really interesting to find out where Airbnb is now competing with the hotels, and how, which I know they're obviously a big competitor, but I mean as in like revenue wise and what market they're really attracting.